And I remember there was like a very emotional scene at the end where I have to be sad that he's leaving. And this is so fucked up. They told me that I would never see him again. Like, not thinking about it, I was like,
he's going to live with Robot Grandma.
Yeah, so they were like, so in the scene, you're saying goodbye to him, and they're like, you're never gonna see Jean-Claude again. And I was like, what? And then
This is a thing.
They lie to kids.
Well, yeah, like, I'm not going to say bad directors, but it's bad directing is a thing that sometimes the director will just be like, I'm going to force method on a kid that doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Good actors and good directors, I always felt like actually like tried to teach me acting while I was there, and I was always really grateful for like having a free acting class of like, here, we're going through this. This is what the scene is. Here's just a couple different ways. Let's figure out like what you're going to really like, you know, what is working best for you. We'll try a couple takes this way before the camera rolls. We'll try this thing, and you know, and
working with a good director makes all of the difference. And you can
and a good director who knows how to talk to kids.
Like working with a good director, you're like, oh, this is something you were meant to do. Mm-hmm. You were meant to be leading and telling people what to do because of your approach. I think it was Sophia, all right, in Blanche's bedroom with lipstick. That's what I think it was. That's what I think the clue is. And if you guys don't understand what we're doing right now, we're playing Clue, the Golden Girls
D&D edition. Oh, not the...
No, I know. We don't get our tabletop Golden Girls, but
wait,
we do have...
So the feather slippers are not a +2 to... I think I've been playing this wrong.
Feather slippers are not a +2.
Oh, shit.
But I mean, we also do have some amazing quotes here. Especially this one from Sophia. Have I given you any indication that I care?
I thought we were just supposed to like kill Blanche with... Okay, never mind. I thought we were fighting the Blanche. She was the dragon. Apparently I've been doing this wrong. But
listen,
that's okay.
We gotta...
You know what? We should put this down because we have company.
Okay, we've got... Hi.
Hey,
company. We're going to play this in a little bit.
Yeah, this is, in fact, Golden Girls Clue, which is apparently a thing.
And we got it.
Yeah.
And we have it. We've talked about it on some of the older episodes. If we wanted something with Golden Girls, we got it.
And there it is. Our Golden Girls Clue.
I really like your shirt, Taliesin.
Thank you. This is my summer fashion. I went after the fashion episode.
Your summer fashion is pretty plus.
I had to go through some photos for upcoming episodes and realized that like every photo I have from like my actual family album, there's not a single T-shirt to be found on anybody. So now I'm feeling really self-conscious about it after that whole conversation. So I'm trying to like actually go through my closet and not be lazy.
It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know how long I can keep it up. It's like the gym.
I know. I'm always like, I'm gonna fix myself up. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna care.
Starting tomorrow.
Maybe put on a little lipstick, and by the end of coffee, I'm like, this is so annoying.
And you know what tomorrow? You know what tomorrow is? It's the day that never comes.
It's the day that never
There's
comes.
always tomorrow. You wake up and there's still tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
It's so terrible. There's always something to clean. There's always something to organize. I've been organizing.
Oh my God, these nails! You got
my
to show
nail
these
polish
off.
drawer. No, these are terrible. If you
No,
look
that's
close.
not true. They've got such a
No,
vibe.
because I did it really quickly because I have been getting rid of a lot of things that I don't need, such as nail polish that I never wear.
Yeah. I think I've mentioned this before, actually, is that I have a friend who has started to instill in me that owning things you don't use is silly. And not just by
Yeah.
getting rid of them, but like wear it. Like,
Yeah, wear it or
very,
get rid
like,
of it.
You own makeup, use it. You own perfumes, wear
Wear it.
them. Even if you're not going anywhere. You own fancy liquor, drink it.
I agree.
Don't let if you own a toy in a package, rip
it.
that fucker. Unless there's I mean, like, I get it. You either display it or you just have to rip it open like a 5-year-old.
I concur, Taliesin, and I'm really trying. So I've been getting rid of a lot. Getting rid of things feels really good that
does.
you don't use.
Yeah.
So these are some of these colors I kept. Some of them I got rid of, and maybe one day we'll see.
I have to purge my nail polish. I can't do it myself, so I always have to, like, I don't know why I
It's
own
hard.
It. Well, and I have this,
With
which
the
makes
trimmer.
nail polish.
Do you think you could do
Complicated.
it with the piece?
I haven't tried
With that
it
thing
yet.
that you could. I mean,
Maybe.
I can really only do my non-dominant hand.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I also have nail stickers, which is my other.
Nail stickers are great.
Yeah, big fan.
So what are we talking about? You know what? Let's start with a question from our
No, I
mailbag.
think that'll help. Let's
That'll help us get going and
let's
get in the
cleanse
groove
our
here.
brains, because I'm definitely a little all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
It's been a crazy
over
week.
here.
Always.
So we have a question from @Dapper Paladin.
I already love it.
Me too. What is a piece of media you loved as a kid that when you tell people about, they assume is a fever dream? Mine is Halloween is Grinch night. Boy,
Well,
really
I'm
wonder what
gonna
that
have to
is.
Google that, because
Me
that's
too.
exciting. I don't
We
know
gotta
that
see
one.
what that's about. I don't know that one either.
Man, there's a lot of fever dreams that like, there's the ones that you tell people and then you run into the person who is also, like, greatly affected by them, and they
Yes.
just don't understand.
And then you're like, you saw this too? I'm not making this up.
But then there's a few where, like, almost nobody has ever mentioned it. That's really, really hard to, like, pin down.
Do you have one?
I have so many.
I have so many too. I have one in particular that still to this day, besides my brother and my sister, no one knows this movie. And it's called The Electric Grandmother. Do you know this?
No.
I think it was a TV movie.
A
But,
lot
like,
of those happened. Yeah, like, they happened
feel
and
like
vanished.
yes, they happen and vanish, and I feel like the kids they either lost their mother or their grandmother. And so I think the dad is like, oh, they're so sad. Let me get them like a robot, basically.
Okay,
But
so
it's like
so
a
far it's
real
like
woman, and she shows up in this, like, you might not even be able to find it on the internet.
this sounds like very Megan so far. I hope it doesn't go that direction.
No, it's
Okay.
not a horror. And they pull her. There it is! And she pours milk out of her finger.
Oh, my
Is this
God.
the scene? She's doing it. And I remembered that from when I was a kid.
That would scar me.
She would, yes, and this is like the first time she serves them, she's like, let me make you guys some
Oh,
breakfast.
and like, God, what's his name? I love him, the
Yes.
vampire from Lost Boys.
Yes, and the milk comes out of her finger.
That's amazing.
And I literally that was coming off the tip of my tongue is the thing that I will remember from this movie.
Wow.
Yeah, she just has like milk in her electric body, I guess. And she just, if you, I mean,
No,
I'm
I
also
just-
like, are we
like-
reloading the milk in her body? Like, are we giving
she
her?
make it?
Does she make it?
That's weird.
Like, do
That's
you have
worse.
to fill up different types of liquids?
Yeah, do you have to put like a carton in her, like the coffee machines where
Yeah,
you have
like
to put the little the little cap
Like a
into,
little
like,
espresso situation?
yeah.
Yeah, it's always.
Did you remember to reload Grandma? Like,
And I feel like
can she do anything else other than milk?
I don't remember
Orange
the
juice?
ending of the movie, but I feel like I feel like she breaks down or something, or she
Don't
like
we all?
walks off into the sunset. I don't remember.
Must be nice.
But that is just literally all I remember is that the electric grandmother poured milk with her finger.
Grandma went up north to a farm in Sacramento.
Yeah. Do you have a piece like that?
I have a few. Like, I have one that cannot be found. I wish I knew the name of it. That cannot be found. But that one's kind of dark and fucked up. But, like, well, I mean, they're all dark and fucked up. Like, the ones that immediately come to mind, that, like, this will be findable, but no one saw it. I've got a couple. the Raggedy Ann animated series, animated movie, which was a whole vibe.
Okay.
I have watched a lot of cartoons that were really off kilter, like that, and like the Sea Prince and the Fire Child was a whole vibe.
Both of those I don't know.
Those are both sad making.
Okay.
I warn you.
But it was at that time. I feel like
I was into it.
so many of the kids' shows were so depressing.
Yeah.
Because then I remember Electric Grandmother was very depressing.
Yeah, the Raggedy Ann and Andy, they were the two dolls. It was like the Raggedy
Yeah.
Ann and Andy cartoon. There we are. But there's something really
Whoa.
dark about it and fucked up. And then the villain.
What cool animation.
The villain just wants to laugh, and he kidnaps her. And there's like a whole thing at sea where he then decides that he's going to have the best laugh, which is the last laugh, and tries to murder them at sea. And it's really just fucked.
Look how floppy Raggedy Ann
Yeah,
is.
it's very Return to Oz.
This is very cool.
There we go. That's the orange stuff. Yeah, there we are. That's the stuff that started to fuck me up. Is they're just and like they're gonna drown. Yeah, that thing is there to fuck them up.
That's like an acid trip.
Yeah, it's bad. And then
What is happening?
it's just awful. I love it.
How fun. I want to watch this.
And then there's 3 films, and they're all great. And
so it's Raggedy Ann and Andy, and they made 3 films?
No, the Raggedy Ann and Andy. And
Okay.
then the other one I'm going to recommend everybody watch are Sanrio produced 3 animated movies in the 80s. 4, technically. They did 4. 3 are the only ones that matter.
Which characters?
So 2 of them where there was The Fantastic Adventures of Unico.
Okay.
Unico and the Island of Magic, which was my favorite, I think. Yeah, that was my favorite. I cosplayed from it. It was so cool.
Whoa.
Unico and the Island of Magic. There we are. There's the puppet Karuku.
Look at him.
That's Fantastic Adventures. You see if you can find Unico and the Island of Magic. They're all awful.
Unico and the Island of Magic.
The Sea Prince and the Fire Child, which is just a depressing Romeo and Juliet thing, and then one called something Belle, like Little Belle or something, which is fine. Yeah, this is about to get really dark. Like right there. Yeah, right there.
Unico and the Island of Magic?
Yeah, so like there's basically an evil wizard who's angry at humanity, so he's going around turning people into puppets and using them to build a castle. So he kidnaps this little girl's parent, her whole village, and like turns them into these awful evil. They're like, yeah, turns them into these awful little blocks.
What are those?
Those are the people. Yeah, he turns them into stone and then kidnaps them to bake a.
And why didn't she get turned?
She hid.
She hid
because her brother is like his avatar, and like, they're like anything at the castle is just fucked, and it's dark and evil, and the main villain is so scary. Karuku is nightmare inducing. There he is, that fuck.
Whoa! Look at his face.
And I'll also say that if you watch it, the dub is amazing. The dub is, and he's
hiding in between the people?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he's just watching them build. He has no fear. And, like, yeah, these movies are like, scarring. They're so good.
Oh, my God.
And, like, it's a cavalcade of, like, the best animators in Japan before they became big. So, like, the animation is stunning. I only have, like, 2 friends who ever watched these.
Never seen it.
No. And they are... I mean, also, I'll say the voice performance for Karuku for the villain there is, and I had a Toby cosplay. I'll find it, the guy in the little blue thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's one of my favorite performances of the era. Like he brings, like that was one of the voiceovers where I'm like, why doesn't everything sound like that? Because he is amazing and dark and evil. It's so good. So yeah, those are all.
These.
And I got to see the Electric Grandmother.
The Electric Grandmother.
Do you have any other obscure? Because I threw a couple in there.
I think that's the one that sticks with me as a kid. That's the one where I have brought. I mean, I haven't seen that footage that you guys just showed since I was a kid. And that has stuck in my brain, and I've told it to people, and they're like, "That sounds so weird." I've never seen
YouTube brings
that.
back so much. Like there's a lot of things that were lost that have now been found. Like
God, isn't it great?
Or like on cult film. I know we're still answering this question. But
I know, but this is
cult
Dapper
film is
Paladin.
a big thing for me.
Great question.
That was always like you find the people who know it, so there's a community. But this was about things that don't even have a community. That's amazing. You can make a community.
Great.
And we're gonna have to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to watch the Raggedy Ann and Andy. I want to see that. That animation was
it's amazing.
Cool.
And oh man, scarred for life by a few of these films. Oh man, it's so dark.
Well, speaking about scarred for life.
Yeah.
we were child actors, and we were going to talk about some of that today.
Scarred for life. Yay. Yeah. It's the what's wrong
We
with
talked
us and
a
how we
little
got that
bit
way.
about sitcom, and we were like, well, we could also talk a little bit about movies, episodics.
Yeah, like the one in, like that is interesting because television and film are utterly different.
So
to
different. Each medium, like especially sitcom to an episodic or a film, how those are made are vastly different.
Oh, and like guest starring, like there is like I feel like, and hop in for this too, is like sitcoms feel like you've kind of joined a family for like that's like a year of your life with these people.
Yes. Yeah. Sitcoms have such a great schedule.
Yeah.
You got your 9 to 5. You have just your it's a great schedule. Episodics or film, or it's a whole different animal.
Like guest star stuff, I always feel like I'm invading someone else's like space.
Totally.
I was always like, I'm only here for a week, and clearly everybody knows it, and they all
Yes.
have their own thing going on, and
yeah, it's true.
It's not that you shouldn't be here, but it's like, don't touch that. That's not yours.
Yes, and
It's a
I
sleepover.
think you and I both had the same. I think when you guest on a show as a kid, and often on like those types of shows, you're always like an abused child.
I played
or
so
a
many
murderer.
abused children,
Yeah,
like
same.
or versions of that of like I was often a very special episode. You know, I had that
Yes.
butterscotch vibe going on as a kid. Where, like,
Butterscotch?
yeah, you know,
With your little
from
bowl
South
cut?
Cart, and like little
Yeah.
big eyes, and with like, and also, I have a photo around here somewhere.
Oh,
of,
let's
like,
see it.
Let me figure out which photo it was really quick. I put it away. Of, like,
It's
they love to put me in like the oh god you don't look well makeup. It's called CCRY makeup. So like this was my favorite makeup I ever did for like I'm playing an abused child thing.
oh my god.
Because they had to put fake cigarette burns on me. This is going to get a little dark, by the way. This is a little trigger warning.
Too late.
I know. I'm putting. You don't like. It's going to get dark, not from what happened to me, but like from some of the stuff we did.
Yes,
but it will
of
always be a
course.
lighthearted conversation. Not. And
Yes.
like, I won't go into like what I was playing. It'll be more about the process.
The process of it.
Yeah, it'll be CCRY in the movies folder. No worries. But this was my favorite makeup I ever did. I
God.
think. Oh, did I just hear an "Oh my God" from back there?
And
I
I'm
heard
sure
an,
you're
"Oh my
doing a
God."
sad little face.
I was.
too.
Well, like they were like,
Well,
we
pull
need a
it up
photo.
on yours.
Yeah. They were. Oh. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, buddy.
They were like, give us a vibe. And I was like, I'll give you a vibe.
That is such a you poor little thing.
I will admit, I was like they were showing me how they do the little glue thing for the
Yeah.
puckered cigarette burns. I was like, I want more. This is really cool.
You're like, it looks awesome.
I was like, can I get a pattern going? And they're
Yeah.
like, no.
So, how long were you in makeup for this?
That was about 2 hours, I want to say, at least.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because these had to the little cigarette burns had to dry because they were like glue. They were like like Elmer's glue kind of thing.
Did you get bored sitting there?
No, not at all. Because they were discussing the process because I was interested, and like we were also discussing where we wanted everything, or like what to want to do with the hair, and like because I was and they're like, how do you all want this together? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna. Like maybe a little here, like this feels, and like
You had some say in it.
I did.
You were like, I really like this design of this cigarette pucker.
The director weirdly trusted me on that. It was
Great.
it was a show and that was a show I got injured on. That was episodic, and that was when I got kicked by the goat. But that was a whole thing.
What?
They had you never work with pets and children. There was a goat I was supposed to work with. It's not great, but and not a film, but the goat did kick me in the face. It just
In your face?
yeah. Got a hoof to the chin.
Was he mad at you, or it
No,
was just an accident?
It was an accident. It was just like he had to get up for a stunt, and like he kind of slipped.
Did you cry, or were you a good?
No.
You're like,
Everyone
I need
else,
to be a professional.
Everyone
right now?
else made a panic sound. I took it. I'm like, 10 minutes and I'm good. That kid was like,
How
just
old
need 10
were
minutes.
you?
Oh God,
A puppy?
I could tell. It was like, I was probably like 7 at best.
Oh.
I was
and you're
a
like,
professional.
I remain a professional.
Oh yeah, we do not fuck around.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. I don't fuck around.
Dang.
No.
So I had a
Yeah,
lot
bring
of
some
like,
stuff.
I have some stuff, but I mean, I guess I'll start with my very first thing that I did.
What is the very first thing that you did?
The very first thing that I did
There's so much
was
weird in here.
listen, I could have multiple episodes about these things, and there's so much stuff that I couldn't find that I'm sure I will find after this episode as well.
Inevitably.
But the first thing I did was a film called Lionheart,
Why?
which I've talked about before.
I feel like I've
Jean-Claude Van Damme. And so I found this old, I don't know what this would be. So originally it was called Wrong Bet. Okay. They changed the name.
They all, yeah.
So, or this is what it was called in another country. I can't fully remember. And this was like the, yeah, dog. That's going to help you in a fight. You know, that flexibility. So but I love that
I'm
this
from
is
both sides of the track.
I love that that's the picture that they chose. They're like, damn, that's sick as hell. So this is
Okay.
this was like why am I blanking on what it's called? Like a publication, like what they would give to a press release.
It was a press. They used to either do little booklets
Yes.
or these posters for like premiere runs or like the first runs of things just to kind of promote the film before the internet. It was kind of the film version of a playbill.
Yes, very good way
I have
to put
a
it.
few of those.
I have a few. I
still,
have some
although
other.
Some
more that I will show later. But I really enjoyed what they wrote. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a little long.
A little love.
But if you haven't seen the film, let me tell you what it's about. Léon, a French legionnaire, I don't know what that means, is caught in the midst of a desert skirmish when he learns of distressing news. Distraught and without warning, Léon finds himself walking through the battlefield and out of the Legion. Branded as a deserter and risking arrest, he eludes capture and smuggles himself into a cargo vessel bound for the U.S. Once there, he is devastated to learn of his brother's untimely death and finds himself suddenly without family, friend, or purpose until he tries to help his brother's family. So anyway, I'm his brother's family.
Yep.
I'm his niece.
90s were crazy,
Not
man.
to brag.
No, wait.
There I am. I still have that bike.
This doesn't look like the desert.
still
You
have that
still
bike.
have that bike.
I still have that bike.
We steal a lot of shit from
Yes,
from
they gave it to me,
sets.
and I still have it. And
Take so many things from sets, man.
and I love that he's just like creepily watching. He's like, yeah, that's my niece.
It feels like he's behind his trailer there.
It probably could have
It
been.
could have been like there is such a thing as we have no
Look
budget.
at this filter or whatever this is. Like that's what you see when you look through binoculars.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so the
Brought to
fam-
you by MasterCard.
But then
Carry
this
on.
is so he basically in the movie he leaves. He's a deserter. He leaves. He comes to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
He starts taking care of his niece, and then like kind of falls in love with the sister-in-law. I can't really remember. That might actually not be a part of the story at all, and I'm just making it up. But there's this other woman in it that I was trying to remember her name, but determined to find his brother's assassins. Oh, his brother, my dad was killed. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Leon enters the underworld, bare knuckle arena, controlled by the lady. So I guess there was this lady that.
Well, you have to hire one, I suppose.
Yeah. So wrong bet. I mean, and I used to do this a lot when I was a kid. After meeting him, I would take 2 chairs. He taught me how to do it.
You can't still do that though,
I
right?
bet I could try.
I've seen you fall
I mean,
off
I
a
would
skateboard,
try. Yeah, you've seen me fall off many things.
but
Yeah.
that seems like a scarred. That seems like something that might never go away if you try and do it. Like,
Yeah, if you do it wrong.
Yeah. Which,
But he was all about, because he was a ballet dancer, which I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
And he was I loved him so much. And I remember there was like I think it could have been the rap party that my dad and him decided to play volleyball because there was like a volleyball court, and him and my dad played on the same team and just like murdered everybody. They were a good team. But it was great. That was like my first thing, and I just had a blast.
a good set has a lot of team building exercises. I tend to
Yes,
find, like
that is
quietly.
true. Yeah. Yeah, you got to have your team building exercises.
Master and Commander, which is a film I love from books I love, about people on ships.
Wait, is Master and Commander with Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
people really like that movie. I've
The
never
crews
seen
on
it.
both ships apparently kind of became teams and would do things would actually treat themselves like
Oh, really?
yeah, and have like little contests between each other.
I feel like
I love that.
It would be so fun to work on a film where you have to be out on a ship and out on the ocean.
Oh, they had a great time.
Oh, I bet it would be a blast.
If we ever really want to go on a tall ship, I could probably make that happen.
Please.
All right.
I love being on a boat.
Yeah,
It's the best
I
sleep
got
you'll
people.
ever have.
I got people.
But
yeah.
So we're jumping around here a little bit.
Yeah, that's and I mean, like, I'm gonna quickly ask. I know what that is, and that excites me.
Yeah.
There will be. I assume there'll be a story with that.
Well, maybe.
Did the director? So, as a child actor, who did you interact with most? Like, who was it that was communicating with you the most often? I assume Mr. Van Damme.
Mr. Van Damme.
Van Damme.
He was so gracious and wonderful towards me, and I think because not like you're going to be mean to a kid.
Well, some actors won't
engage.
At all.
He
They
was
just,
not
you're,
like that
you're
at
a
all.
prop. Like, I've had those actors
Yeah.
who are not there to. They're like, I don't know. I don't know what they think is going to, like.
Yeah. I didn't have any of that. Like, he was just, I remember hugging him a lot.
Oh yeah.
Just because I just liked being around him. And I remember there was like a very emotional scene at the end where I have to be sad that he's leaving. And this is so fucked up. They told me that I would never see him again. Like, not thinking about it, I was like,
He's going to
shit.
live with Robot Grandma.
Yeah, so they were like, so in the scene you're saying goodbye to him and you're never going to see him again. And I was like, okay. And they're like, you're never going to see Jean-Claude again. And I was like, what? And then
This is a thing.
they lie to kids.
Well, yeah, like I'm not going to say bad directors, but it's bad directing is a thing that sometimes the director will just be like, I'm going to force method on a kid that doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't.
But it's also like, it's a weird thing to
Yeah.
have a kid be like, well, I want them to go through a really traumatic moment. And you can't be like, well, just pretend.
But
Because
I can.
at that age,
Yeah.
some kids can and some
Yeah.
kids can't. I think because it was my first thing, I didn't really understand
fair.
like how to like create that and make that happen. So they were
Sure.
just like, yeah, he's leaving. But he was so sweet and like helping me in the scene, like
See,
just
that's-
remembering it as a kid. And we just the director was like, he's leaving forever. Now just talk to each other. And I was like, you can't go.
Man.
And yeah.
Good actors and good directors, I always felt like actually like tried to teach me acting while I was there, and I was always really grateful for like having a free acting class of like, here, we're going through this. This is what the scene is. Here's just a couple different ways. Let's figure out like what you're going to really like, what is working best for you. We'll try a couple takes this way before the camera rolls. We'll try this thing, and
Working with a good director makes all of the difference. And you can
and a good director who knows how to talk to kids.
like working with a good director, you're like, oh, this is something you were meant to do. Mm-hmm. You were meant to be leading and telling people what to do because of your approach.
I will say, talking to, as I turn and don't look at things for a second, talking to friends these days, I know a lot of them, like the directors that exist now that are out in the world, don't know how to talk to actors. They go to school to learn effects and editing, and then they learn that actors just do.
Yeah.
And that's
Which can be the case, but it depends on what it is.
yeah, and like the more if you can actually speak to an actor and speak actor as it is a language, you can just get better. Like, it just makes everything better.
It just makes
does.
Yeah, it does.
And you don't have to spend money on it, where your effects are only going to be so good because you can only afford so much. But you can find an actor who hasn't broken out, especially if you have a good eye or a good casting director. Like, you can hire the people who are going to be big in 10 years.
I think the trick for me, like, I think a good director doesn't micromanage.
No.
Kind of hires the people that they know are going to get the job done, but are also able with the actor to be like, that was great, but let me just give you a few notes and things that could make it even better.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, whoa, shit, I never even thought about that. That's a very cool way to approach this.
Yeah, or see a choice someone makes and goes, that's really interesting. Let's lean into that for one, even if it wasn't what was in my head. This is something interesting, and not necessarily in that, wait, I've got one more idea, but like that, oh, okay, what is that? I don't know.
So this other thing I brought.
There's many ways.
Yeah. This actually I should have talked about in the sitcom episode, but I found.
Oh, that's
this.
not what I thought it was.
No,
I'm so
so
excited. I had a
found
different.
this.
I thought that was the Beauty and the Beast TV series.
This was no. I wish.
know.
I had nothing to do with that.
I was about to
So,
be very envious.
I found these old photos from Growing Pains.
Yeah, grandparents.
These were like press photos.
That is very press photo-y.
This was from a Halloween episode with Alan Thicke. Look at him looking like a cool guy. He's a witch and I'm a bunny. This is. They were like the grandparents, I think. I think it was Cloris Luchman. And I can't remember who
I have
it is.
a-
I'm drawing a blank for some reason.
like
on
there's
his
always
name.
there's always the weird press photo. It's like
There's
I
always the
brought
weird
one of
press
mine
photo.
too, but like and then there's like the weird behind the scenes photos that are great.
But there was an episode that was written on Growing Pains that was it was kind of an episode based on my character Chrissy,
Yes.
which at the time was exciting.
So
And
much
Chrissy
vibe
was
happening
missing her older brother, so she made an imaginary friend named Ike instead of Mike. And it was Kirk Cameron's character, but this was like a press release for it, where they talk about the episode and then showed like the process of him becoming this like little mouse character. So I still have this, and I guess this was put out. This was 1990, and it was showing how the makeup effects the artist constructs the ears, forehead, and cheeks. So I just thought that was a little something that I found.
God, press releases were so
Press
weird.
releases were so weird.
I
have one more press
Yeah,
release.
I'll
but-
share a couple of mine too because I've
Yeah,
got
let
some
me see
weird.
some.
But like no, do
No, I have some.
Okay,
Take a turn.
So like, well, I mean, like
Oh.
the press like the photo like I have got the Mr. Mom cast photo, which was just like our like us, and I wish I could remember the babies, the one of the twins' names. I feel bad, but
They
like,
were twins. Well,
yeah,
they
babies
probably
tend
had
to be played by twins.
Yeah,
so the
so
one's
they can
melting
work more.
down.
Yeah.
You can switch.
Yeah.
But Freddie Kohler, who was my it's Mr. Mom cast is the and like it's the
Oh,
same kind of like
wow.
put everybody on a couch and make them look at things. I don't even know what set that
God, I
was
love
or if
him
it was.
so much.
Mike, they were everybody. I have
How
the
was he?
so I have the unfortunate. I'm in the unfortunate position where I had nearly entirely extremely good experiences
Great.
with everyone I ever worked with, which just means that I can't justify a lot of my trauma, just my weirdness out of this.
Yeah, the trauma that we have
Trauma is more
not just
is
from
more
child
family.
acting.
Yeah,
Life.
He was delightful. I
God,
cannot
he
say
seemed
enough
like
good-
he was delightful.
he and Terry and Terry Garr and Martin Mullen, all of them were just so fabulous. And then do you remember when they used to do press releases? Like I have
Oh,
a
I see
variety
this.
press release,
Yes.
which is this is from
Where it's just like, look at the yes, Taliesin Jaffe in a very special role on Saint Elsewhere.
yeah.
Oh my
Tonight, Wednesday.
God.
And then you can't see at the top right now, but it says
So that would be
it
like-
says Iris Burton proudly invites you to watch.
Oh my God.
Iris Burton was my agent and who was a very famous
yes.
agent at the
Well,
time.
I feel like we've talked about her
We have
before,
talked
where
about
she's
her.
had like.
She was a whole
Everybody.
vibe.
She's still alive?
No,
You
she
wanna
is
do this?
not
She's
still
not.
alive.
Okay.
Sadly, I would
Damn.
have. I would have. She's on my list of. God damn! I should have called her before that happened.
I know.
She did smoke like a chimney.
Yeah, she talked like this.
Yeah, it was
She
amazing.
was scary. She was scary.
If and I've said it before. If you want to get the vibe of her, you can look up the movie about the making of The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's the agent that like the main actor goes to see to try and get an agent, and she like does the little circle around
Wait,
him.
is she in it?
No, an actress plays
Oh,
her,
so somebody plays
and
her.
it's amazing.
Whoa.
It's just dark.
Somebody's playing Iris Burton.
Yeah.
She had something to do with The Room.
Well, she turned him down apparently. Like,
Oh,
so it was
my
like,
God,
He was
okay.
trying to get real acting work, and she noped hard.
That's amazing.
I didn't bring any pictures of her. I really should have, but at some
If
point.
you have any of her,
Oh yeah,
I would love to
I have
see
this
some.
great picture of her in her office with like her hands up with all of her headshots of all of her actors behind her, and it was amazing. Wow. She also used to throw a Christmas party for her favorite children, and it was always great.
Yes.
Up on Rising Glen.
I wasn't with her.
Yes, this is what
I
an
don't
agent, a
think.
good agent, does. Is they bring all their clients over to their house to like
Yes.
definitely
I went
not
to one of
drink
those
the
Christmas
alcoholic.
parties.
You did not.
Yes, I did. I might have even gone to 2.
I was at.
So I probably
We
saw
may have
you
been.
there.
We may have been in the same room.
That's so crazy, Taliesin.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Up
Yeah,
on
she
Rising
was-
Glen and that little like
Yes.
holy Rising
Yes.
Glen was like it was like
was
the
such a
street
cool place.
where all the like it was a valley. It's a little place where famous people used to live. I don't know if they do anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember going there and I'm
man.
like, this is so cool.
It was a whole vibe.
It was a whole vibe. That is so crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to show you some pictures of that because I
would
actually
love
have.
to get a reminder
I'll bring
of that.
some up and find some Christmas at Irish Bird. I'll actually have to see if maybe you're in the background of any of them. Like
That'd be really weird.
Like a creepy haunted
Yeah, just
picture.
standing there like a Victorian.
I
doll.
would, man. If you ever, I should. You should teach your nieces to do that in photos.
I should.
I would pay good money to just see
Yes,
some
to
photos
just have
of
them floating around in the background.
The little bent neck.
Yeah, so the press releases would be put out
Yeah.
by either the show or an agent, and it would go into Variety just to let people know, like, hey, look at this kid that's working.
Yeah, they would do these, and it would be, and we've talked about like the various youth and film awards, or
Yeah.
like I did or the places they would put you to like promote the films.
Yeah,
They were
promote
always
your
very
stuff.
odd.
It was such a strange.
Did you ever do a junket?
Yes, I did a junket.
What is it? What is a junket?
So the first junket that I did, actually.
I was hoping you would have
I'll
a
show
thing.
you this.
I have nothing from any junket I have ever done.
So first junket I did was for a film, not to brag, called What Women Want, with Mel Gibson, Helen Hunt,
Yeah.
and Delta Burke was in it. It was a film by Nancy Myers.
You have the whole pamphlet.
So this was like at the press junket. Okay, so press junket is basically a lot of times here in LA they will do it at the Four Seasons Hotel, and there will be, it can either be a full week, it could be a weekend, it could be a few days put together, where they sit you in a hotel room. You don't know that it's I mean, you guys, you've seen these interviews all the time. When a movie comes out, there will be the poster behind the actor, and somebody is asking them questions. So I had to do this for What Women Want, and it's like 3 days just sitting in a room.
Every 5 minutes, someone comes in, asks
yeah.
you the same question,
Yeah,
then
how
leaves.
was it like working with Mel Gibson? Oh, it was great. It was great.
And then after a few hours, someone will ask a weird question, and then you have to wake up suddenly.
Yeah.
And and it's awful.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
But so it's basically like they give out this like pamphlet of information. They tell you what it's about.
What to say.
They
Often.
tell you who's in it. Ashley Johnson is fast becoming one of the most talked about young actresses in Hollywood.
I'm talking about her.
Her film credits include Wayne Wang's Anywhere But Here. Wow, I forgot about that movie. Chris Columbus's 9 Months. Anyway, so
Madness.
yeah, so they put that out, and then there's like all of these little like these were for tickets to the premiere.
Oh, premieres.
Admit one was the premiere, December 14th, 2000.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Good year.
And then they also put out, which I thought was kind of crazy.
Oh, those slides?
They gave out slides.
That's pretty cool.
So that they wouldn't do something like this now, but like so that they
No.
could be used, I guess, in print for.
That's really clever because normally there's just like those so on film sets, they just tend to have somebody whose job it is to walk around with the camera all the time and take photos.
Yes.
There's just a guy who that is their job, and like they take some of those photos and they are usually used in press or
Yes.
Like, this was before DVD extras or anything like that.
Yeah.
This was just stuff to document the series. Oh no, really?
So we do have some of the photos printed out.
Oh
So
Lord,
let
that
me
looks like a
see.
headshot.
Look
No,
how
they're not. Those
gorgeous
are like
she
junket
is.
shots.
She's so great. Oh, Marissa Tomei.
Hey.
Marissa Tomei is like the dreamiest woman of all time. I loved her so much.
Never heard anything but good things.
Yeah, she's such a dream.
Sometimes you hear things that are not good things, but not.
You know, we got
Speaking of which,
the infamous
Yeah.
Mel Gibson doing some yoga,
Yeah,
working
no.
on his toes. There's me.
oh my God, look at you!
Yeah,
you teenager.
I was a teenager.
These look the exact same. I have tons of these from the '60s from my grandfather's
Ashley,
films.
for those who don't know,
Oh.
what was the movie about?
Oh, you want to know what the movie was
What-
about?
what do
Definitely
women
a movie
want?
you could probably make now. JK. Okay, so
Inquiring minds want to know what women want. Was it
I
about
actually might need
anything?
some
And if
help
you
with
can't
this.
remember, you have your press junket right there.
yeah,
that
let
you
me
can look
actually
into.
let's read what the press junket release.
Yeah, let's
says.
pick a paragraph.
What do the filmmakers
I
say
don't
that this
remember
movie's
how
about?
he gets the affliction, but basically he can hear women's thoughts.
Oh
right?
my
Yes,
God, I
that's
hate
right.
it already.
That's the main gist
oh,
of it. Yes.
I hate it.
He can hear women's thoughts, and Nick Marshall was his character's name.
Oh, no.
Was the ultimate man's man.
Oh, no.
A charming, irresistible bachelor living on the A-list life.
He was a producer, wasn't he?
He loved listening to Sinatra, and like the chairman of the board himself, thought he had the world on a string.
Even I can say from some experience, even Sinatra would hate this. Carry on.
Yes. Okay, wait. So, yeah, he works for like an ad agency,
Of course.
and then he
This
ends
was like
up,
a whole vibe.
Yeah, I think there's like a scene where he's like trying all these women's products, and then he ends up falling on his head, and then all of a sudden he can hear women's thoughts. Wait, what?
He's
He
electrocuted.
electrocuted. Thank you.
Funnier, to be fair.
Thank you, Athena.
That's better.
Yes, electrocuted, and then all of a sudden can hear women's thoughts.
This reminds me. I will not say the show or otherwise because honestly I can't remember of this comedy bit with Patrick Stewart trying to pitch a film where it's basically he has the ability for women to completely lose all their clothing.
I think I know what you're talking about.
it's
or
a
maybe
comedy
you've
sketch.
shown me this. Yeah.
It's from Extras where he's just.
It's from Extras.
Where
That's right.
That's all he is like just pushing this film that's clearly a fetish of his and nothing else.
Extras is so good, by the
has
way, and it is very real.
It is very real.
It's uncomfortable. The last thing from What Women Want, these are set sides. They call them sides. I don't know why.
That's not helpful. I forgot about that.
I don't know why they're called sides.
No.
SIDES.
It probably isn't an acronym for something.
Probably. So you get these
Silly
at the beginning of
information.
every workday.
Yeah.
It's your call sheet telling you what you're doing that day. And
List of shots usually.
list of shots. What time you have to come in. Set call was at 7
Or
a.m.
At least it's a list of the shots they hope to get done that day. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We've got.
Because you don't shoot in order.
Do you want to read this scene with me?
I mean,
Do you want to be Mel Gibson?
no, but
No.
no.
Well, do you want to be Nick Marshall? I mean, yeah, we don't want to be. We don't want to
I'm
be
a
Mel
little
Gibson.
horrified by this, but yeah, sure. Let's.
I played Alex Marshall, by the way.
You've already ruined my ability to function for this. So
Oh my God, I'm getting a FaceTime call from my sister.
not now.
Hold on,
honey.
I'm gonna open
Okay.
this.
I'm gonna work on my scene really quickly. I see. I have to learn my lines.
Hello?
We're on.
Hello?
I think she butt dialed you. We're on a podcast, honey.
Did I get butt dialed?
We're recording a podcast. You're on it.
I'm on FaceTime.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're on the podcast right now.
I will tell you if she says anything
I'm on
about
the
you.
what?
She said I'm on the what?
I'm shooting the podcast right now.
is
Say
good. I
hello
can
to
learn
the
my-
people.
Oh, hey, friends.
It still hasn't figured out there are hundreds of people watching right now.
Look how gorgeous
Dozens.
she is.
Oh, hi, dear.
All right, let me call you back. I love you.
Oh, boy.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, dear. All right.
All right. So, wait.
All right.
I'm a teenage girl.
Okay, now I know what I'm
And
doing.
you're a dad.
And now I'm a dad.
You're my dad.
I figured it out.
And you've taken me shopping.
Yes, of course.
The dress you picked out is totally hideous. I'm not coming out.
It can't be that bad.
Alex sticks her head out of the dressing room curtain. I look like a nun, an ugly nun.
Where did I go? Why? Just because it's gray? Gray is the new black. Let me see it.
Alex opens the curtain and steps out. She wears a long, full dress, long sleeves, high neck. Nick sort of likes it. Okay, so this is VO. So this is what he heard, since he can hear my thoughts. If he says he likes it, I'll die. Nick, quickly changing what he was about to say.
I'm trying to find it. There we are.
Likes it, I'll die.
Okay, next.
Okay, Alex,
it's hard to
in
find.
an unbelievably sexy dress. This I love.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you. Next.
All right, so Alex comes out,
Does a
dress
whole-
after dress.
I'm clear
This
now.
is the, there's a great montage with what a girl wants. What a girl wants,
Oh, boy.
what a girl needs. And then, VO, I say, this is it. It's so Jennifer Love Hewitt, except without the boobs.
Oh, God save me.
Am I allowed to read this, actually, now that I'm saying this?
Yes, you are technically allowed to read this.
Okay.
I actually do know this.
It's like Jennifer Love Hewitt, except without the boobs. I need boobs. I'll buy a padded bra when he's not around. I can't believe this is what I'll be wearing the last night I'm a virgin. Or should I say, what I'll be taking off.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We cool.
So-
I'm already. Yeah. That.
To be clear, we do not stand Mel Gibson.
We do not. No.
No.
We do not. We do not.
I definitely have a few problematics I worked with as well, but
We
but
have.
we don't. Yeah.
There, if you work in this industry,
You have definitely
you
worked
are
with
working
somebody.
with people that are problematic.
Yeah, because
Like if you're working in any industry, people are problematic.
actually, I'll
You're
say
gonna find many.
that is true. If you're working in any industry, you are working with problematic people. But for
Yes.
some reason, for reasons that are obvious, everybody cares about ours, and nobody cares about most of the other ones.
Yes, because ours are in the limelight. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have there are so
Yeah.
do not agree with Mel Gibson's politics at all.
I barely agree with his haircut.
No, but,
But,
the he was incredible to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was actually during the time that my dad was sick while I was filming this movie. And he was very kind and gracious to me.
I had a couple shit
Still don't
child
believe in the
actors.
same things that he does,
Nah.
but he was.
Did you ever have a couple
Probably
child
changed
actors
quite
that
a
were a
bit,
little? I mean, you don't have to name. I actually don't name names when that's true, also because it's been decades, and I'm sure I hope they're better now, and I don't
I
want to.
know.
There are a few that were like, I cannot believe you still work. You're awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why are you so demanding? Go back to school.
Yeah. There's many people that I've worked with where I'm like, how do they keep getting jobs?
This was.
And I will
this-
not talk about them.
Yeah. No.
That is not something I will talk about.
I had a security badge on one of the films I worked on because
You did?
it was high security. Yeah, it was a no leaks movie, which was 2010.
Wait. This is.
The sci-fi film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
do you have any footage of this?
I have. Well, I have the badge. I do have the badge.
Oh, yeah, let me see
And
it.
then I'm sure I've talked about this, that this job was the best because half of it was just going to like play with dolphins every day.
Oh, this was the dolphin one.
And like I got a sci-fi tricycle out of it and like probably like hundreds of dollars of Japanese toys. Yeah, that was my
Wait, that was your ID?
that's my 2010 photo ID.
That's so cool.
You are not allowed on the MGM lot without it.
That was the only. So you had that. That was the only way you could get on the lot.
Yep. Wow. You had to show it at the gate, and then you had to show it at the sound studio.
I love you have such a serious picture.
I had just lost. No, that's not true. I was. I
You still
I
had
always
your
had
teeth?
I was about to lose a tooth. It was a whole thing, but. Yeah, and like I was a rampage on that set because there was a whole space station, so of course I was going to run around it.
Well, duh.
They had like a gym.
I would too.
There's a scenes where they're on like the astronaut gym in that, and like I used it all the time. It was amazing.
Of course you would. I mean, how
I crawled
would?
inside Hal. It was great.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they just let me do it. And so this shot
How
right
did they
here.
just do that?
So that's a giant tank.
Wait, what's that actor's name? The one with the glasses?
Roy Scheider.
Oh, that's right. I liked him a lot.
He was amazing to work with.
What was that?
so-
oh, that was the dolphin.
Those were dolphins. So this set of this house is built on a giant half bowl tank that they use for underwater shooting on the MGM lot. It may still be there. I don't know, but
Whoa.
it's huge. And the dolphins lived in there for the shot, for the shoots for those days. And then they built the half house set, and then basically they had a giant film camera wrapped in like plastic wrap. I can't believe it worked. That they just craned out of the water for that shot. And between takes, they let me hop in that water and swim around those dolphins in a giant tank. Fuck yes, they did. Oh,
What?
Yeah, I
What
ran
a different
amok.
time.
I was.
Did you like swimming with them?
Fuck yes.
Do you think they liked you?
Yeah, they were great. Like I also learned how to
Wait,
like
Crunch
make them
and
do.
Leilani?
You remember the names,
Yes!
Crunch and Leilani. This was also before the phobia of fish had really kicked in, so this was like a lot easier for me. I gained that later from experiences.
Oh, so that was from an experience.
Those are from like 9 experiences in a row.
Okay.
But by this point, so yeah, that shot. I mean, it
Wait,
took forever
what's
for them
happening
to.
here?
I'm feeding them, and then we're going up from their water house for them having lunch, talking about the fact that, and then there's me on the tricycle, that crazy
That's
sci-fi
you?
tricycle, yeah. About he's going to go into space for like 7 years.
So you're spending time together and
yeah.
just like
And like, so this is me on
He
that
was your
on the
dad?
sci-fi track. Yeah, he was
Played
my
your
dad.
dad?
He was great to work with, other than once accidentally almost drowning me, but accidentally.
Oh.
Yeah, like we had a great talk at one point because we were trying to get a sunset shot of us sitting on rocks watching the sunset, and we just shot the shit because they couldn't see our faces. And
So you're just talking, hanging
yeah,
out?
and there was a beach thing where we're supposed to be like wrestling in the beach, and he threw me accidentally into like a little riptide, and I was like,
Oops.
and then we're like, oh no, and had to
Oh,
go
no.
digging me out. Before I was like, I help.
Oh my God.
He was
I want to watch
super-
that so bad.
It's an interesting and
I don't know how I didn't see it with how much I love 2001.
yeah, well, it's a very different film.
Yeah.
And then like I will say just from and then like wow, I don't know.
Is that
That's my-
you or is
was
that me?
That was me in my stomach.
What's
going,
weird is it sounded like it was over here, but I didn't feel anything in
welcome.
my stomach.
I
I
had
was
to
like,
throw
how
it.
is this happening?
I had and like I'll say Explorers. Like I did a couple sci-fi films. Explorers was also amazing
Wait,
with Joe Dante. Yeah, Joe
you
Dante
did.
directed.
Hold on, we got to pull this up.
What? Yeah, I'm barely in it.
But I know this movie.
So, okay, Joe Dante is a delightful director and really fun to work with. And I even ran into him not that long ago, and he's convinced no one likes this film because for reasons.
So many people love that movie.
It made no money.
It didn't?
It made no. It did terribly.
But I feel like it's done better as time has gone on because
has.
it's become like a
And
Cult classic?
I'll say that like there's a lot of film that was left on the cutting room floor. Like they chopped that movie into chunks. There's I had whole things that I shot that didn't get in the film, which made me really sad.
damn.
And then there's also like a whole extra 10, 15 minutes at the end that got chopped off. There's like tons. And there's River Phoenix performance that's just sitting somewhere in a vault.
Damn.
And I made noise at him last time I saw him. Must have been like 2018, where I'm like, that footage got to be somewhere. Make them put out a DVD.
Hell yes.
Come on. And
That
he
would
was
be
like,
so
no one
cool.
wants that. Like,
Yes,
you're a
they
goddamn
do.
liar.
Look at
that's
you.
Mr. Mom. Yeah, that's Mr. Mom.
Look at what
That's
a little
weird.
pupper that is. You know what? But that could have been like a
Yeah, there's not a really good
pictures
shot of
of
me.
him.
Yeah, in the.
What is
That's a
this?
terrible photo they pulled up.
cast then and
I
now,
hate these videos.
2022.
I just hate those videos.
Love
they
a
always,
good then and now.
They always pick the worst photos.
Always.
Yeah, my
They
other.
do always pick it. They're like, you want to see them now, and then they choose horrible photos, and you're like, yeah, I look awful there.
Yeah, the only other like serious actor who I ever had as a roommate has got a few of those. Where Hannah Hall, who
Oh,
like,
yes,
yeah,
from
who,
Forrest
like,
Gump.
from Forrest Gump, who like we were roommates for years, and every now and then one of those would pop up for her. I'm like, this is that. I mean, really? They picked the one? Like,
Yeah, you're like, that's
there's
the photo?
hundreds of hot
Yeah.
photos of you on the internet, and that's the one they pulled. That is just absolute bullshit.
Oh my god.
But the other, like, I only have like one other ridiculous thing here.
Let me see it.
So, this was from that TV movie where so I played a lot of abused children.
Okay. you had abused children.
Yeah,
you had the look.
I had the look, and you get typecast, and like I played a lot of Kennys and abused children, and like I made this film. I made this film about a kid who had been abused, and they were trying to like find out what had happened to him because he had kind of gone quiet and was having it was just.
Oh, and look how you put your chin down, you poor little
so this was like the
thing.
therapist who's trying to figure out, and like
You can't even sit all the way in the chair.
there are a couple interesting things that happen. Oh no, don't you?
Yes.
Because I don't talk in this scene because
You
I'm
don't?
still mute in this scene. Like I haven't started talking at all.
You haven't started.
No, and this is Lindsay Wagner is great, but that's not what this is about. She was one of
Lindsay
those actors who
Wagner.
just didn't really understand how to communicate with me at all.
She didn't know
Like,
how to work with children.
She was very awkward, but it was fine because this was a very awkward thing.
Yeah,
But
because as a therapist, look
but
how she's touching you so much.
Peter Coyote, who played my dad, was like, man. I actually have a photo of us hanging out together, like during the shoot.
Oh man.
With, like Peter Coyote was such a fucking delight at all times.
I loved him.
And we would just hang whenever.
Look how much fun you're having.
Oh yeah. So one of the reasons why we had kind of alienated the entire cast at this point and crew. I can talk about this now. He's very old. Is
Yeah.
because we had gotten into a deep conversation about producing a toy line together. called the baby dead dolls. I'm so sorry.
What?
And we were going off on like what the accessories would be for like a terrible like, and including like all the things that would come with like
He
a
must have gotten
funereal
such
set.
a kick out of you.
And then we made one for him as a cast parting away party. Me and my parents custom crafted
a baby dead doll?
with like it came in a little coffin and it had like flowers in the hole and like little and like
I'd buy a baby dead
we
doll.
had spent hours on set laughing our asses off about this as everybody else went, this seems inappropriate, and me going, ask my mom, and my mom went, seems fine to me. And him just losing his shit the entire time and just
Oh my
and, like,
God.
that was. We also had like a rabid dog at one point where you put soap in so it could foam at the mouth. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was very young and having a blast because this was my
Good for
sense of
you.
humor. I don't know why I nearly did that one.
But he must have gotten such a kick out
Oh,
of you.
we were great. And especially
When you meet a
considering
kid with a dark sense of humor.
on a very dark kind of dim.
Yes.
So, and like one of the things that we did on that show is they thought, and I agreed, I watched a bunch of like testimony from kids who had like actually gone to court and done these things as kind of a sense of like what the vibe was.
Yeah.
Watched a bunch of that, which was both upsetting, interesting, and informative. There was a lot of like, damn, I am not that courageous. Holy shit, they are not fucking around. Well done. And then we shot part of the show actually in it wasn't a home, it was more of like a juvenile detention center. Like it was like one of those places where they like it was like a place where they put children while they either figured out if they were criminal or something
Okay.
had wrong. And so it was a very odd space.
Wow.
And it was in use too. So it was a whole thing.
Oh boy.
And I was definitely like, I am here. This is really
Dang.
awkward.
What a weird place to be in at that age.
What a weird place to be. And like again, I was built to be like, I was not a normal human, so I was handling it how I was handling it, which was, this is really fascinating. I'm really glad I'm here to see it.
Wow.
So hold on.
Oh, what is this letter?
This is interesting. So I got a letter.
Oh, look at you. You're drawing. Is this like they're
Yeah.
going to see what they're like?
This
well,
was me like having a
they're
like,
drawing with a black crayon.
I'm like,
He's
am I
got to be
doing a black
crazy.
crayon? I'm like,
He's
they were
drawing
like,
a
yeah.
dark void.
I was
Something's
just,
wrong. Look at you.
So the executive director of this institution wrote me a letter,
What?
and I have to read it because it's hilarious. I know the setup is awful.
Okay, show me this.
So I will read it. This is, I wish I had, this is Phoenix Entertainment Group. So yeah, this was the, Dear TJ, which was what I went by at the time because I had not yet had a pretty girl tell me that I shouldn't do that. Congratulations on a really fine production. I don't know what the national ratings were, but all of the staff here at Children's Institute agreed that your movie, Child's Cry, is a strong morale booster and a great help to programs across the country around these issues. Although one of our staff, Tony Walker, was disappointed that the stains on the playroom carpet were so noticeable, I prefer to think they added more authenticity to a well-produced story which covered so many points which need to be shared. Bravo, you were great. Warm regards, Mary M. Emmons. I shouldn't have said the name, but there we are. Or maybe I could. I will say the name because that letter was amazing.
That is amazing.
And
Although the carpet was a little bit of a
carpet
mess.
stains are like, I'm like,
We should look her up. and
they
see what she said.
were, but it definitely was, the vibe was right. So
Oh my
like,
god.
I was like, this is a little depressing in here, but I can see they're attempting.
That's what a great letter.
Yeah.
Child's Cry.
Yeah.
And writing a letter to you at that young of an age,
And
being
like-
like, thank you for what you do.
And like watching that movie, knowing that like behind the scenes, Peter Coyote and I are just being the worst,
Oh my god.
just absolute worst people on earth. And like, I occasionally fucking up shots because we're not paying attention to what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh, that's incredible.
It was so much fun. He is my
what
favorite.
a sweet. He's probably your favorite person. you've
I
worked with.
try not to pick favorites, but it was certainly something that stands out. He's also still alive, so I have
I've
to
got
be
some
nicer to him.
favorites, So. All right. I
Yeah,
only have
no,
I
pontificate.
think 2 more things that I'm going to show you.
Okay, and then I have one dumb thing for us to finish on.
Perfect. So talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I was on ER. Okay, this is another call sheet from ER.
Good call sheet. I like the
I know.
big yellow
I don't know
ones.
why I just have these call sheets. So this was Monday, 8/17, 1998.
Good year.
August 17th.
I say that every time.
I had to be at the Warner Brothers lot,
Ooh.
stage 11.
Ooh.
My call time was 6:15 a.m.
Hard to get around the Warner Brothers lot. It's a maze.
It is a maze. And these were more sides from, I think I did 2 episodes, maybe 3
Those are
episodes.
tiny sides. Is it my imagination
No,
that
these are
like,
tiny sides, but these are
they're hard to read?
thick.
Okay.
So that means they're
Small-
shooting
short but
this
thick.
much, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this
Oh,
is...
that's a lot.
How many pages is this? This is... Oh, it was my drive on.
Hey, so yeah, you have to have a special pass.
I mean,
to
this
park.
is like 20 pages. Knowing that you're shooting that much in a day, let's see how many pages is here. 12 pages. Shooting 12 pages in a day
That
is
sounds
a
like
lot.
television. Yeah.
That's
movies.
TV.
Movies move slower.
No. So I thought that was pretty cool.
They got time.
Oh,
Wow.
this. Apparently I went to the Godzilla premiere in 1998.
I'm so
Not
sorry.
to brag. From the creators of Independence Day. And this was amazing because... Okay, so this was your ticket. Sorry.
No, this is
This was
part
your
of the...
ticket.
Oh, did it have
And you got-
another picture?
Yes,
it
another
has to
picture.
slide
So that was like a big thing, late 90s, early 2000s. But also you got coupons.
to Kmart.
Yeah. It included coupons for Kmart, save $1.
Man,
Ah, it's
I
expired.
feel like American Tail was a better premiere at this point.
Come to Taco. I wonder if I can
Taco
use
Bell.
this.
Does it?
See if I can
Is there
use
an
this.
expiration date?
Come to Taco Bell to get a free Godzilla experience CD-ROM.
Is there an expiration date?
There is. Offer expired. Damn. Offer
we
expired
could-
5/31/98. If I could be like, can I please get
Okay.
my Godzilla experience CD-ROM?
Okay, we can send that in an envelope and see if they'll just go with it if we mention that we have a podcast.
Maybe we
I
should.
am not kidding.
Oh, and you could the album on sale for $13.88 at all participating Kmart stores. Oh, so that's what you use the dollar for.
I'm
So-
kind of tempted to send in the Taco Bell coupon to see if they'll honor it.
We should.
Because if they do,
What is the Godzilla experience CD-ROM?
So I'm putting this out. Maybe I'm just watching too much John Oliver, but
God, I love
think
John Oliver so
This is
much.
going to be our John Oliver thing. Is I think we should send in this coupon and just ask if they can just like maybe make an exception here. I understand if they can, if they don't have any.
I don't hate this idea.
And then
This is a very John Oliver idea.
if they do send it, like we will give them some love on the podcast and be like,
Yes.
thank you. And
I love this.
and,
This is it. Look at it. Oh, this is
Oh, no.
sick.
I kind of they need to. I don't think we will run it unless they send it. I think that's the rule. We will show them. Well,
Godzilla size does matter.
I am already upset.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I love it. It's like
I.
U.S.
Oh man.
Vermont.
I.
Look at this. This is
If
amazing.
they send it, I will say nothing bad about this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my
I mean, this is great.
Oh shit! There's like so much in here that
I know.
I got to go to the Cannes Film Festival for Fast Food Nation. That was super
I
fun.
didn't know you worked on that.
Yeah. But this I was most excited about. This is the last thing I'll
yeah,
show.
no.
This is actually I have some really cool stuff, but we'll save these for later.
Yeah.
So this was another press release for Recess School's Out, the movie, the film, the animated film. Brilliant. More pictures from that. But what I didn't realize, they also made Valentine's Day cards. And I forgot I
no.
kept these.
Oh god. What
And
do they?
I was like-
they always say the best puns.
Yeah, and Doug, Recess, Pepper Ann. Like we got
Those are pretty
stickers.
cute. Oh, no puns.
Like, let's see.
I guess Doug's not really very punny.
Okay, Doug, hoping you have a
That is a hard word to.
I have no idea what that
That's a
says.
long word that doesn't make any sense. That's not a
making
real
time
word.
for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, okay. I'm a little disappointed. I got to admit.
Doesn't love make it hard to think? Happy Valentine's Day. Anyway. And
I
then
will
there's
admit,
like stickers.
I'm a little. The stickers are better.
Stickers. There's Doug, Recess, kids. We got to use these stickers.
I have a bunch of Valentines I should bring in at some point.
You
that
do?
Yeah, like ones I've been saving for Valentine's Day to give people. Like I've had them ready to go.
You're like, I'm going to use these one day.
Oh, I mean, February. That's my plan.
Is to give Valentine's
Is to
Day
give
cards?
these Valentine's Day cards out that I just have to figure out, and I may ask your help to figuring out who gets what.
Great. Love this
'Cause
idea.
I'm a little
in.
I'm a little panicked about that.
I'm so in.
I mentioned, by the way, last week.
Okay.
Or last week, I mentioned that I went and bought some toys at my favorite terrible place to go to buy toys.
Yes.
And I did buy some cards. I bought some trading cards. I mentioned that, but I was saving these for this,
Okay.
just as a quick open.
They're Growing Pains trading
I
cards.
found Growing Pains trading
Oh,
cards.
shit.
I don't know
Okay, we
if you're
gotta open
any
them.
in
I don't
any
know
of these.
because this
Did you
might
know
have-
that they existed?
I've heard of this.
Oh my god! And they
And
come
I-
with gum. I don't want to touch it.
I'll eat the gum.
Oh god!
Oh, and it's a loose gum, too. It's so hard. Wait, let's see if you can hear the
Oh,
snap.
mine is already powdered. That's so bad.
We got Tracy Gold.
I'm trying to find. Wow.
Oh, this
I've-
must Aloha from the Seavers.
I've
They
got
must
a-
have gone to Hawaii.
I've got a sticker for What a Hunk.
Woo!
Okay. This might be I don't know if you'll be in any of these, but maybe. I don't know. I was hoping.
This might be early.
This might be
too early.
But I was like, maybe it was worth an
Wow.
attempt.
She had a scene, Joanna and Alan, where she's in the bathtub. Hold on a minute.
That's a
How
little.
did they do
That's
that?
a little racy.
Ooh, Growing Pains trivia question.
Oh yeah, bring it.
Where does the Seaver family live? Los Angeles, Princeton, Long Island, or Chicago?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm going to say
Chicago.
Long Island?
Long Island. What's the answer? Is it on there?
It is Long Island.
it is.
Hey.
Yes.
Well,
That's really funny because it didn't feel like it was Long Island. Like none of us had accents.
There's a lot of. There's
like,
a lot of.
"It's fine."
There's a lot of weird quotes on
Let's see
all
if
of these
there's-
cards, and like.
Oh, these are
and, like-
so great. Oh,
and then-
look at this sticker.
Who'd you get?
Joanna Kearns.
Well done.
I want to put her on my water bottle. She, speaking of great directors, she has become an incredible director. I have worked with her a couple times as an adult.
These all-
She's so fucking good. And I love that she's had like a new different
I
career as
also
a
got
director.
Carol Seaver.
She's great.
Yeah, and then there's a thing worth showing once we've got the. Here, I'm going to open. one
Okay. Growing Pains trivia question number 1.
more. Yep.
Which of the following is not one of Mike Seaver's favorite nicknames for his sister Carol?
Oh no.
Nerd Face, Skunk Breath, Sweetie, or Fido? I mean,
Sweetie.
Yeah, it is Sweetie. I didn't realize the answer was
I
on
don't
here.
know. No. Yeah.
These are fantastic, and I can't wait.
So I don't
to-
see you in any of these. So these probably are before you. But there are the stickers that they come with. Also have a giant poster piece that you put together when you collect them all.
Cool.
So
These are awesome.
this was my dumb that I found. I was hoping that you'd be in here, but I'll keep my eyes
God,
out.
I'm gonna use these stickers.
But yeah, we have a whole bunch of ridiculous trading cards.
Oh my God.
I always
this
love
is so exciting.
I love ridiculous trading cards that make no sense.
Hey,
but-
thanks for sharing this with
No,
me.
no problem. I thought it would be
was
nice. We can go
great.
through them later.
I
Yeah.
would love this.
Yeah, love me, love my snake. It's so true.
Jeremy Miller is Ben Seaver.
Yeah.
Look at these kids.
But we'll share more stories of ridiculousness.
We will.
At some point.
Just a little gum snap. All right.
A little gum ASMR. Oh, I've
Well,
gotten over that.
I think this was great.
I think this was
Taliesin.
great, too.
I think we can call it for today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll look more at these trading cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
have
maybe
to-
play a little more Golden Girls Clue.
Yeah. Yeah. A little more clue. Could be.
All right, pals. It's been real.
Very real.
And we'll see you
We'll see you soon.
when we see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, kids. Some very important weird information for all of our weird kids. Our new episodes are now starting to release exclusively on beacon.tv. That's right, every Tuesday.
So we are still releasing the final Weird Kids episodes from 2025 every Tuesday on our Weird Kids YouTube channel and on podcast platforms. But our new episodes are exclusively only on beacon.tv.
Beacon.